Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah if you're new here. I started this channel to document my journey becoming a single mother by choice by going through IVF, as well as getting diagnosed with endometrial cancer and PCOS. I am now cancer free. So if any of those topics appeal to you at all, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to get updated anytime I upload new videos. So I have some really exciting news to share with you guys today. I'm so excited. If this is the first video that you're watching of mine, I just finished my second round of IVF, my second egg retrieval. My first egg retrieval did not go very well. I got OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, had a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, 41 eggs retrieved, ended up with 9 blastocysts, did PGT-A testing and only 1 was normal, transferred that 1 normal embryo a couple months ago, and it ended in a biochemical pregnancy or early miscarriage, and that was heartbreaking. So I had to start all over, but so far this second round of IVF has been going so much better. My egg retrieval was a couple weeks ago. I did not hyperstimulate. We changed up my protocol. And I'll get a little bit more into this, but I truly think that inositol, so since I have PCOS, inositol is an amazing supplement. If you do research, look it up on Google and Google like inositol for PCOS versus like metformin for PCOS. Metformin is a drug that is prescribed a lot of times for PCOS, and inositol is better than metformin. It does better things for you, in my opinion. I would way rather go a natural route versus taking medication. Inositol is, I guess it used to be considered a B vitamin. I don't know a whole lot about what exactly it is. All I know is that it has like cured my PCOS. And it has improved my egg quality tremendously. I have it linked down below. The brand that I take is Pure Encapsulations. And I just can't say enough good things about it. But anyways, so I had my retrieval, and my recovery was so much better. I was not in nearly as much pain, wasn't nearly as bloated. I could breathe. Last time I couldn't breathe very well. I didn't end up throwing up or having a fever or being nauseous or being in like a lot of pain for like a week. I didn't end up in the ER. These are all things that happened the first time. So it just went amazingly. So I got half the number of eggs retrieved, still ended up with 9 blastocysts. So I got the results of my PGT-A testing yesterday, and I ended up with definitely more than 1 normal embryo. So this round absolutely was more successful. I'm so excited to share that number with you. I did want to update you first though on the next steps. So I also got my period today, this morning. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it. It was a little over a week later than I anticipated. So it's been kind of a stressful week. I did have an acupuncture appointment on Thursday to bring upon my period, and I got it in like a little over 24 hours, so that was awesome. So I can call my clinic on Monday to schedule my HSG. That is the next test, the last test that I want to do, just to like make sure that everything is perfect for my next transfer. I've never had my tubes evaluated, so I just want to make sure my tubes are okay, rule out a hydrosalpinx, and which could affect implantation. So that will be what we're doing next cycle, and then I have to wait to get my period again before I can start a transfer cycle, a frozen embryo transfer cycle. So in this next cycle that I'm going to be doing the HSG, so that is done between days 5 and 11 typically. So you want to do it before you ovulate and preferably after you're done bleeding. So I'm probably going to end up scheduling that for, if I can get in for Friday or potentially the following Monday. So that would be day 8 or 11 of my cycle. So I'm thinking I should be done bleeding by then. This is most likely going to be a heavier and longer period because it is my first period after an egg retrieval. So I just want to make sure it's done before I have my HSG. But during this HSG cycle, we are going to kind of try out a natural frozen embryo transfer protocol, kind of like a mock cycle, just to see what my lining looks like. If we try this way versus the typical hormone replacement therapy transfer cycle where you do estrogen for 2 weeks, whether that's taking esterase pills or patches. I've tried both of those. The only other option that I have not tried is estrogen, like estradiol injections. But I just have this feeling, and I could be wrong, but I have this feeling that my body would do better without estrogen and just producing its own estrogen if I ovulate. So what we're gonna do is on cycles day 3 through 7, so for 5 days, I'm gonna take Letrozole pills, the same pills that I was on to keep my estrogen low during my egg retrieval cycle. So I know that sounds kind of weird, but what Letrozole does is it also like helps grow your follicles. So, and it helps like, it will help like just one follicle grow from what I understand. So hopefully it will allow my body to grow a follicle, and then I will go in for an ultrasound, probably blood work too. I don't know if they'll do blood work, but definitely an ultrasound on day 13 of my cycle to see if I have a dominant follicle and also to check out my lining. So for a transfer, you want your lining to be about 8 millimeters. Successful pregnancies have occurred with less than that. Lots of people have linings that are more than that, which is great. I think basically the thicker the better up to a certain extent. I think there is a point where it can be too thick, but like 8, 9, 10, like those are awesome, like lining thicknesses. And mine with the estrogen pills only got to 7.3. With the patches, it got to 7.8. So I haven't really hit that like 8 millimeter mark, which I'm really hoping for, but I just want to see how this goes. So when I go in for the ultrasound, and if I have a dominant follicle and my lining looks relatively good, then I will do a trigger shot so that I ovulate. And then I would wait for a period, and that's when I would start my transfer cycle, and we could follow that protocol if it works out well. If I go in and my lining is like super thin, then I'm just gonna say, all right, we tried, and we'll go back to like the normal estrogen for 2 weeks, lining check, transfer a week later. And then to apply the ERA results that I got, my ERA results came back that I needed 13 extra hours of progesterone before a transfer. So I need a total of 133 hours of progesterone. So if I ended up doing a natural embryo transfer cycle, I would do the trigger shot 133 hours before the transfer. So when you do an HCG trigger shot, your body starts producing its own progesterone. So I might supplement with progesterone like suppositories. I might not even have to do PIO shots if I do a natural cycle. So I wouldn't be on estrogen. I most likely wouldn't have to do PIO shots. So it would just be like a more all-around, more natural cycle, which as if you know me, you know I love more natural things in life and in general. So, except for this, and I keep saying this whole process is not natural, but hey, I don't have a partner. This is what I gotta do. So, so that is the plan. So potentially looking at a May transfer if the timing of everything works out and I don't have any unforeseen delays or issues. So hopefully my HSG results are good. Hopefully I get my following period at a decent time and I'm not waiting for weeks and weeks for that. Hopefully my lining cooperates. So there's always a bunch of what ifs and a bunch of variables and things that can go wrong, and I'm prepared, but things have just been going so well the past several weeks, so I'm so hopeful. Okay, so moment of truth. I am going to tell you guys how many embryos I have. I'm so excited. So out of the 9 embryos that I had biopsied and sent for PGT-A testing, I have 6 normal embryos, which is 2/3, 67%. Like, I'm just like beyond shocked, happy. Like when the embryologist called me yesterday, I was shaking. I like can't even believe it. So like in my head, I was hoping for 4. Like I would have been so happy and like relieved if I had 4. And then I was thinking to myself, like, if I had 5, like that would be even more amazing, but I doubt it because that's more than half. And statistically, at my age, I was expecting half or a little less than half to be normal. And then I also, of course, was worried that I would get either none normal at all or another cycle where just one was normal, because that's what happened last time. So it's just incredible how different this cycle is. And like, I feel like that's something that I can share with you guys that like might help you through this process. If you had a bad round of IVF, like your first round didn't go well, like there's hope. Like your second round can go so much better. And for me personally, because I have PCOS and I was on inositol and I did start CoQ10 a couple months ago, I really think that those supplements, mainly inositol, have completely changed my egg quality and improved it. There are quite a few variables and reasons why this round was better. So it's really hard to say like for sure it was just this or for sure it was just that, because it can be, you know, it probably is a combination of many things. But for the most part, I would say the inositol improved my egg quality, helped prevent OHSS. The fact that I was on half the amount of gonal F, the fact that I was on Letrozole to keep my estrogen low, just the fact that I didn't get OHSS in general was huge. I did change donors. I really don't think that, I don't know, who knows? Because I know my old donor did have reported pregnancy, so it's not like my old donor's sperm was bad. I mean, he obviously, like, the sperm banks do, you know, regulate the quality of sperm that they are selling, and he had reported pregnancy, so I don't think that that was one of the major reasons. It could have been, I don't know. I do think that I wasn't supposed to have that donor's children, because after I realized that like I really should go with my gut, and I had that like weird gut feeling like when I looked at some of his pictures that like just gave me like a creepy vibe. So it's best that that did not pan out. But yeah, I haven't decided. I know eventually I will tell you guys the gender. I did find out the genders of my embryos. I don't know which one is which, because I know the grades of my embryos, and I know which embryo my embryologist wants to put in first, but I did not want to know the gender. But I do know how many boys and how many girls I have. So I think I'm going to save that information for another time, potentially after I announce the gender of my first baby, because yeah, I just can't, I don't want to tell you guys just yet, but I will. I promise I will at some point tell you what the genders are. But for the embryo grading, I know I've explained this before, but at my clinic, they use a system, and I'm gonna put, insert a snippet here to show you the grading system, but it consists of 3 numbers, so there's no letters in our grading system. The first number refers to the level of expansion of the embryo, with 4 being the best, and that means hatched. All of my embryos have a 4 in the beginning, so all of my embryos are hatched. The second number refers to the inner cell mass, which becomes the baby, and 1 is the best. And as you can see here, it shows that, 1 is good, 2 is average or adequate, and 3 is fair or poor. And I only have 1 embryo that has a 3 in it, so that's awesome. And they also said at my clinic that they have excellent pregnancy rates with either a 1 or a 2 for either the inner cell mass, which becomes the baby, and then the third number is for the trifectoderm, that becomes the placenta. So 2 of my 2 day 5 embryos did come back normal, so I still have those. One of those is going to be the one that is transferred first. It's actually embryo number 1. The embryologist said that she liked that one the best. That was graded a 422. My other day 5 embryo, which is embryo number 9, was graded a 412, and to me, I would think that obviously that's graded better. She said that she liked the 422 better because of lots of reasons that she couldn't really get into. She said that she liked how it grew better, and she's like, just trust us on this. She's like, this one is much better. So I'm like, all right, whatever one you say. And then my day 6 embryos were, I had 2 more 422s. I had a 412, a 421, and then my last one was a 413. So that's the only one that has a 3 in it. So basically, my embryos are great grades. I'm really happy with them. I'm so happy. I still am just in shock that I have 6. And I just want to have all these babies, honestly. I know that's a lot, and I know I probably won't, but I have this maternal instinct now towards these 6 embryos, and just knowing the genders, oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. So I wanted to share all that exciting news with you guys, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will let you guys know how my mock natural transfer cycle goes, as well as my HSG. So I'll see you guys very soon on my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you guys again so much for your support and all your love. See you very soon. Bye.